Welcome, everyone, to the Inspired Choices Network TV show. I am your host, Christine McIver, here with another week with another inspiring guest. I'm very excited to introduce this next woman to you. She is someone that I've just gotten to know, and have you ever had that moment where you've just sparked with someone? Well, this woman is just that. Daniela Szasz is an intuitive coach and energy healer, and today we're talking about the journey to truth. Welcome, Daniela. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me, Christine. It was lovely to meet you the other day for a tea.
Yes.
And thank you for this invite. I appreciate that.
Well, I found your story as we talked so inspiring. I love to hear about your journey, and you've written this beautiful book, My Truth, and it's all about the path of unconditional love and about your journey in it. And I really wanted to share that with our viewers and our listeners. So let's start at the very beginning. You obviously were not born and raised in Canada. You have a very beautiful accent.
Oh, thank you.
So where did you first begin your life?
Well, I was born in a small village in Slovakia, close to Bratislava, which is a capital city of Slovakia. And I was fortunate to be born in a family with a couple siblings. I have an older brother and younger sister, and we grew up, as I said, in a village, and I was really connected to the earth, which is my journey of truth.
A big part around the earth.
Yes.
So where you grew up, was it in the country or was it in a city? Like, was it small?
It was a small village on a countryside.
Small village.
Yes.
Wonderful. And so what was your childhood like growing up there?
Well, it was simple. As I said, I always like to spend time outside to be grounded with Mother Earth, a connection with nature. We had many cats, and I had a dog, and my soul was always connected to the nature. I used to love to go outside and go on bicycle with my friends and go around the little village and spend time in nature.
So were you someone as a young child that was off on her own, or did you have friends that you were always with?
Well, I had many friends. I love to be with people, but I also like my downtime and being alone.
Right. I kind of was getting that vision that you were out there discovering you.
Yes.
In that. So you were in this little village, and then did you stay there long? Like, how many years did you live there?
Well, I lived there for 15 years, and then I moved out. I went to boarding school.
Boarding school,
yeah,
yes.
I went to a boarding school, and so I really left my parents' home when I was 15. So that was end of the journey in a small village. I just went there every weekend.
Right. So where was the boarding school? Was it still in Slovakia?
Yes, it was in Slovakia, but I had to stay there for a week. And that was a continuing the journey to be connected with the nature. I studied in agricultural school.
Oh.
And that was a 5-year program. So I studied landscaping and flower arrangements, which I really liked.
That's wonderful. Wow, this is very cool. And so you were in school. Did that take you, when you were at boarding school, did that take you through college as well at boarding school, or did you go to a different school, or where did you go on after you were done there?
Well, that agricultural school was a boarding school because it was further from where I was born, so I had to stay there. I couldn't commute every day.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when you finished that schooling, did you go on to working, or?
Yes, I worked in greenhouses, which I really liked, but I wasn't able to continue to work there because it just didn't go with my health, the chemicals and everything that was in the greenhouses, so I had to switch that job. But the company offered me a job in office, So I was doing payroll, but that really didn't go with
Really
me
wasn't-
at all.
Wow, what a switch from
Yes.
landscaping to payroll.
Yes.
So you move forward with your life. At some point, you went abroad. Where was the first place that you went abroad to? Was it Austria?
Yes, because that job in office was one of my reason that I want to emigrate. I wasn't very happy. I was also married, which didn't really nurture my soul. So I took off to Austria, I emigrated, and I lived there for a couple of years before I came to Canada.
Okay. So you when did you come to Canada? When did
I
you
came
move
to
here?
Canada in 1990.
Okay.
And I really didn't know what I'm going to do here. I didn't speak any English, but my hobby was to do hair. I was always a hairstylist to my family and to my friends and my neighbors, so I just decided to be a hairstylist. So I became a hairstylist without school.
That's the part that makes me laugh. That you became a hairstylist and you didn't go to school. And of course, people have natural capacities and abilities. But here you are. You're in a new country. You don't feel strong with your English, and you just start a business out of your home.
Well, I didn't start business right away. I worked as a helper.
Oh, okay.
In a hair studio for a few years.
Okay.
I was sweeping hair and washing towels and making coffee for clients. And I truly like that, you know, being service to people.
Right.
And I just learned how to, you know, behave in
Right.
Canadian
So this is
society.
the hair salon was your learning ground.
Yes.
For the culture, the Canadian culture.
Yes.
Wow, you must have learned some interesting things there. So then, how long was it before you started your own hairstyling business?
Yeah, I was kind of unlucky, but now I see it as a gift because every salon I went, they either let me go because they didn't need that many people anymore, or the other business was closed. So I was like, why I don't have luck to have a, you know, job
Consistent.
for like consistent job. The universe was showing me, yes, you need to be on your own. And when I think it was 4 years working in a different salons, and then I opened my own home studio.
Right.
And I was really busy, and I loved that because I could pick and choose my clients, and I was so blessed with so many amazing clients. Like 95% of my clients were women, and they taught me so much about who I am and who am I not.
Right.
So it was amazing experience, and I was a hairstylist for 22 years. And I love that job, and I love to meet like hundreds, maybe thousands of people through my work as a hairstylist.
Right.
So, and after 22 years, I was guided to close my business and do something else. I was hearing the message, and I believe it was message of divine that the beauty comes from within. And I was so happy to find yoga and meditation. In 2006, I studied yoga course, Kundalini Yoga teacher training.
Yes.
And that brought me to my new path. And
So where you are today.
yes.
So before we jump into where you are today, you had told me that you actually had clients when you started to tell them that you were taking yoga, that they wanted you to teach them yoga.
That's right.
And so, like the total entrepreneur that you are, you learned, and then you set up a yoga studio beside your hair studio.
That's right. Yeah.
That is so creative. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, well, I love the yoga, but I didn't want to study yoga to be a teacher. I really wanted to know what's behind of the yoga teaching, because it was so fascinating to me. Like, it changed my life. it really brought me to my truth, to who I am. And
So how did it do that?
Pardon me?
How did yoga bring you to your truth?
Because I was meditating every day and journaling and doing, the yoga poses and stretches and deep breathing. It really brought me to my true self, to see my gifts, who I am, and not to take anything that doesn't resonate with me, or if something would happen in my life that doesn't resonate with me, I just knew how to let it go.
And you started that
Yes,
journey.
yes. So,
Okay,
and meditation is a big part of my everyday, because I see meditation as a hygiene for my mental and emotional body.
I love that.
Yeah. So when I don't give myself time every day, at least 10-15 minutes, I feel like I didn't shower or didn't brush my teeth.
That's
so
amazing.
I
love that.
Yeah, it really become a big part of my life. It's a must. It's a must.
So we're going to take a short commercial break.
Okay.
And when we get back from our break, we're going to continue to talk with Daniela and find out more about her truth and her journey to her truth. So please stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Have you thought about bringing your voice to the world? Are you looking to have a global platform that you can connect with? At Inspired Choices Network, we create an opportunity for you to bring your voice each and every week to a global platform. We support you, we train you, we bring your podcast out to more than 50 platforms. We are a network of building a community where we're bringing conscious voices to the world. If you're looking to have more of an opportunity, if you're looking to bring what you know to the world, do connect with us. You can contact us at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com, or you can send an email to becomingahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. We'll have a conversation and we'll show you what truly is possible. Welcome back, everyone. So we're going to continue our conversation with Daniela Szasz, and we're talking about journey to your truth. So you shared with us how you came to be, and the journey through your entrepreneurship, and how yoga and meditation really started to pull you in. And now I love that how you said it. It's part of your hygiene. Your meditation is part of your hygiene. And when you were doing your meditation, and what started to really come out of that really, because that's a big part of what you're talking about in the book, right? About what you were starting to get to about you. So tell us what was going on for you.
Well, in a meditation, I was hearing you are a leader. You are here to help humanity. You are here to help Earth. And as much as I love to be with people, as much as I love to communicate with people, and I don't like to be exposed, or I didn't. This is actually my first TV interview, and my voice is a little shaky, but I think I have to go over that. When I had my hair business and the meditation room and yoga room, I was jumping between these two. Like I was cutting the hair, and then I changed and I went to my yoga room and lead the yoga class, because my hair clients encouraged me to teach them.
Yes.
And I'm very thankful for them to push me a little bit.
Right.
And so I was choosing, because the hair salon didn't fulfill me anymore, even though I loved my job for so many years. But I just felt I need to give something else, something different to humanity. Like my service need to change, and I was journaling a lot. That was a big part of my life too. And through journaling, I do automatic writing, and that's another part of my everyday life. I journal. I do automatic writing.
So
because
for anyone that doesn't understand, can you explain automatic writing?
Well, I just sit and meditate and focus on my breath for 10-15 minutes, and then I take the paper or my journal and pen and I start to write, and whatever comes through me, I just let it go and let it come through. And sometimes I surprise myself. I'm like, like, who is writing this? Sometimes I write a word that I don't understand what it means in English. So I go and Google. Thank you for Google. I Google the meaning of the word because I don't know what it means. So I truly know that divine is speaking through me and delivering messages. And when I actually didn't know that I'm writing the book. I was just journaling, and this book comes in 2 parts. The first one is my how I grew up and my immigration, and the second part comes from my journal. And so this is how the book
So you share with all of the readers your journey, and then it feels like with the diary, or your journal within the book, is like you bring us right into how you moved through and found your truth through your journaling.
Yes.
That's very vulnerable and very intimate thing to do. And for a woman that didn't want to be out there, you really stepped into it.
Yes.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Good for you. But there was obviously something, Daniela, that was pulling you. And really, you said that you kept hearing you're a leader. And so what I'm curious about is, how have you been leading you through this? Because there's probably a part of you that says, no, we don't want to do that. And there's probably another part that says, yes, we are.
Yes. And that's exactly what happened. And I love to talk about that topic, some people say there are good people and there are bad people. And what I truly believe, there are not good or bad people. There is the polarity within every one of us. So we can, the energy that comes through us, we can use creatively, or we can use it for like a distraction.
Right.
So
we have choice.
Yes, exactly. So when I was writing the book, especially the first part about my immigration and that part of my life, it brought me to my deeper self that I didn't want to face. My emotions, my flaws, the part that we may not like the best. And that is the blessing of writing, because we need to face every part of us, the light and the dark part of us. And when we do, and when we fully accept it, we become walking the life of truth.
Okay, so for you, it's been really embracing all of you.
Yes.
And being willing to acknowledge it.
Yes.
And when you started to acknowledge the dark side of you, was there a part of you that tried to change it?
Yes. Well, we as we go through the life, I believe all of us, we know our darker part of us, and we don't want to face it, but we kind of try to put it under the carpet.
Yes.
But it always comes from the other side. We need to face all part of us, the part of us we like and part of us we don't like. So,
So what happens for us when we are willing to not just face it, but to have it with us? What actually occurs? Because a lot of times we're trying to change it or we're trying to ignore it, which, like you said, it'll come again.
Yeah.
What actually gets created when we don't do either? We acknowledge and we allow it to be. What actually occurs then? What did you find?
When we try to cover up, we suppress our feelings and they will come up. It's like little baby, you know, when you try to say, don't cry, it will cry even more, right? We need to ask that child, like, what do you need? What are your needs?
Okay.
You know, so we can actually accept that part of us. We need to see it first to be able to accept it and to not to change it, but accept it and work with it.
Nice. I know that you have a favorite saying you wanted to share with everyone about the divine.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share that with us now?
Well, I wrote it down about the truth. The truth is only one. It is divine and always alive. It is the essence of our being. May we always know it and act upon it.
I love that.
Thank you.
And that's what you're talking about. It's always knowing the truth of who we are,
Mm-hmm.
and to allow that to be with us.
Yes.
So your journey is fascinating, and how you've come to the truth of who you are is fascinating. Tell me, what are you doing now? You're not doing hair and yoga teaching anymore?
No, not right now. I'd love to, I go and teach wherever I am invited to yoga studios, but I don't have my own studio at this moment. But I feel I like to go broader and to be available to different, in different places, to many people out there. My website, if anyone like to contact me, is pureauthenticheart.com. And what I like to focus is to do intuitive coaching, to deliver divine messages to people who are asking me for their guidance.
Nice.
Yes.
So that's something that you're doing with people now, and they can contact you and they can work with you.
Yes,
That's fabulous.
I love to work with people who are willing to walk their
journey.
path of truth. Yes.
That's beautiful. So besides, in addition to doing one-on-one coaching, do you also do any kind of speaking engagements? Is that something that you're available for as well?
Yes, I go to different groups, women groups, and speak if they ask me to come.
That's wonderful. I think this is fascinating. I'm so glad that you and I were connected by a mutual friend.
Yes, thank you, Brenda.
Yes, and I love that you. For me, what I get with you is you're not done.
No,
you're still curious and you're still asking.
Yes.
And that's wonderful. So everyone, you're going to want to pick up her book, My Truth. And where can they obtain the book? Can they get it through Amazon?
Yes, it's on Amazon.ca and Amazon.com. You can also purchase it through my website, www.pureauthenticheart.com, or you can email me.
Wonderful. That's fabulous. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you very much.
I can't wait to see where your journey continues to.
Yes, me too, because I truly feel this is my very beginning.
You're at the very beginning.
Yes,
that's
and
wonderful.
It's interesting enough last night, because I was kind of like, oh my God, this is my first interview. But I'm very excited, and I work with tarot cards, and I pull the cards, and what I pulled actually jumped out of the deck was full, which is number 1 card in tarot deck, and that means new beginnings. So I feel very blessed.
Here we are. So do I.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
much.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And if you would like to learn more about Daniela, please do go over to her website and connect with her. And you never know where your truth may lead you when you're working with her. So do tune in next week. We will have another inspiring guest who's inspiring themselves in the world and those around. Thanks again.